iron in the soul. What's up, YouTube? This is your brother King Jabez, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. Also, in addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at The King Jabez, as well as my website, theironofsoul.com, where you can book a consultation or get my book, whatever you choose to do. It would all be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Today's video is entitled Chosen Ones, your heartbreak is the secret to your identity. Let me repeat. Your heartbreak is the secret to your identity. Let's just talk for a minute. Before I get into the meat of this message, I came prepared today with something that really deserves multiple layers, some wisdom, some insight, maybe a little personal stories as well as I get into this, and just overall something that we can all identify with, and that is pain and suffering. And that is, to me, the key to identity, knowing who you are, asking difficult questions about yourself, your life, your spirit, your soul, as well as your body, your whole person, who you are. Pain, when you go through it properly, it will push out power. And so in today's video, I want to really highlight how your heartbreak has been used by the Most High to show you who you truly are. The times when you cry out for help when you're in trouble, feeling like an owl in the desert with the loneliness, just, at times just so unbearable to the point where you don't even want to eat. That type of pain. When you're trying to break those curses, when you're breaking away from family and loved ones who don't care about you. This heartbreak is deeper than just a relationship between a man and a woman. It's about just life in general. The pain and afflictions that we all face. So that deep loneliness, that sadness that sometimes you forget to eat to the point you start losing weight. I know we've all been through that. That deep, dark depression. And all of that pressure, it made you want to read more. I'm going to talk to you now. It made you want to dig deeper. It made you watch videos like this. It helped you to understand that you are indeed a chosen one. And what does it mean to be chosen? The scripture is very clear on this from a biblical New Testament perspective. The Bible says many are called, but only a few are chosen. And when you think about the context of that, this was a parable that the Messiah himself gave concerning a wedding feast. And at that feast, this king invited everyone, but only a few decide to come. And so he told the servants to go out there and find whoever you can to come into this wedding feast. And the invitation to God's kingdom is for everybody, but only a few choose to accept the invitation. So we are chosen by him to be lights in this dark world. And in order to be a light, you have to go through the pain, which pushes out power as well as purity. Because when you're pure, this gives you power and this gives you a certain level of insight that other people don't have. You see, when you're forgotten and left for dead, you have enemies who are insulting you, at times trying to put curses on you. You have some of you right now, you've had even family members try to put spells on you. This is real. This ain't no game. You've had spells put on you, curses. You've had individuals who've been practicing voodoo and witchcraft against you. And you're trying to break free from all of that. And you get to a point where you feel so weak that all your strength is gone. And in that place of isolation and desperation, loneliness and pain, you begin to tap into some new power. This is when you learn to pray in the Spirit, right? Prayer in the Spirit is also a biblical teaching. And it's something that is a native language to heaven. It is a direct communication with the Most High himself. And when you have that direct communication through the prayer in the Spirit with the Most High, this helps you to tap into your power, and it dispatches angels on your side. And once you get the angels on your side, this is when you begin to see the breakthroughs. This is when you begin to blow up, right? I'm talking to you. This is when you begin to see that progress that you want. The opportunities come your way. Because the pain pushed you to a place where you had a desire to connect with the divine being. And that put you in a position where you begin to study, reflect, pray, work harder. This got you into the gym. This made you want to become your best self. I would say most of us, if we're honest, we would not be who we are today if it was not for pain. Am I telling the truth? I'll speak for myself. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for all that I went through. And I don't want to make this too personal, but just the stuff I've experienced with the streets, family dysfunction, mother dying from crack cocaine overdose. You understand? My father died in the 80s. What young Dolph say, born in the 80s, crack baby, all this stuff. This is real to our communities, and all of that dysfunction pushed me towards God. It made me want to seek my true identity. Who am I? I'm not. It became clear I'm not just a gang member. I'm not meant to be dead or in prison. I'm not meant to just have babies all over this earth. You dig what I'm saying? There has to be a greater reason or purpose for my existence. And for me, it was pain that got me there. Am I talking to you? And I know I'm talking to you. It was your pain that got you into acting. Let me make it clear now. Let me go ahead and bring this home. It was your pain that got you into rapping. Okay? It was your pain that got you in that studio. It was your pain that got you in that gym 4 or 5 times a week. Hitting iron. You went in the gym like that before? Drinking your protein and your creatine. I know I'm in the gym. You know what I mean? Working out. Drinking your gallon of water. Getting your sleep. It was your pain that made you want to become abstinent for a while. A lot of you on a celibacy journey for a period of time. It was pain and suffering that made you want to do what? To clean up and to become pure and righteous and have a purpose. Pain pushed you to that new level of growth. You see, when you go through this process, this helps you to become a leader amongst your peers. You see, when you've been through things, when you've been through some stuff, to make it plain, you begin to listen to other people's problems with compassion. And you have a non-judgmental posture. Whenever I see someone who is very judgmental, self-righteous, religious, offensive to people, kind of a very rough, cruel way of communicating with others, they either haven't had enough pain yet, or they allowed their pain to make them bitter as opposed to better. Because we all, pain is it's like one of them things where you can't have a non-response to it. It's going to either make you better. It's one or two. It can't be both. It's either make you a better person, compassionate, non-judgmental. When people say, I just like your vibe. I can talk to you. You're approachable. See, pain makes you approachable. Let me talk to you for a second. This is your big brother. Pain makes you chill. It's people who've been through the most, they're sometimes some of the coolest people you ever meet. And then on the flip side of the coin, some other people are some of the worst ones you've met. And the difference is pretty clear. One person allowed all that to purge them, right? And to bring out this great person who we can respect and admire and learn from. And others allowed it to break them. So I suggest to you right now, listen to this video, chosen ones. Don't allow your pain to break you. Let me talk to you for a second. I ain't trying to preach you. I'm just trying to talk to you. Don't let your pain break you. Don't let your pain make you a person people don't want to be around. Let's talk for a second. Don't let your pain make you kind of crazy. Yeah, I ain't trying to be condescending. I'm just talking to you. Learn to make that what is used by the Most High to make you a person who is knowledgeable, understanding. What you have been through in life, some of you should be one of the easiest people in this world to talk to. That's what it should do to you. You should be very approachable. People start talking to you, say, yeah, I understand that. I've been down that path. I hear you. Versus coming in this very condescending, abrasive tone. And here's what I've learned. I'm speaking to myself now. I've learned this through experience. Well, if you would have talked to me, let's say 12 years ago, I had a much more judgmental, I'm telling myself now, self-righteous, overly religious, and borderline offensive approach to speaking to people. So the Most High said, okay, I got you, my boy. I'm going to sing through some stuff. And the pain, the suffering, the heartbreak, the isolation at times, the workplace bullying. I'm talking to you now. The deaths of loved ones, losing my mother, losing grandma. Real stuff happens to you that begins to change who you are. And this is the plan of God. And this is why I say in this video, brothers and sisters, that suffering and heartache, it is the key to your identity. This is how you figure out who you really are. So your identity is like this diamond or jewel that's locked inside of a let's say, a treasure case. And the pain is like the key. It's like the golden key that unlocks that treasure chest. And out comes your true personality. Out comes the gifts and abilities you didn't even know you had. Some of you didn't know you could sing until you start going through stuff. You didn't know you could rap until you start going through stuff. You didn't know you knew how to act or dance or do business. You didn't know you had the athletic ability. Some of you became great athletes because of pain. You guys, you didn't start balling for come on, man. You didn't start balling for no reason. You started balling, playing football with weights. You was going through something. I'm talking to you now. You got into business. That pain made you want to become this, what y'all say all the time online, a serial entrepreneur. I'll be seeing y'all. I'm a serial entrepreneur. You serious? You hear me? What made you want to become a serial entrepreneur? That pain? The pain of being broke? What T Grizzly said? I know I'll be tripping y'all with my hip hop references. You know I know hip hop too. Come on, man. I'm from the community, man. 290, brother. What T Grizzly say? Being broke did something to my spirit. You hear me? Oh yeah, being broke did something to your spirit. Make you want to learn. Being broke will have you reading books every day so you can get your mind right and learn how to be an entrepreneur. It'll have you online. It'll have you paying for classes and seminars. It'll have you going to those classes. Working 10, 15-hour shifts every day. Paying to have you in that truck. Some of you driving trucks 10 hours a day. Have you in that shop cutting all day. I'm finna get on my grind. Got your website up. Got your Instagram profile. You're trying to grow as a barber. So I know a lot of barbers follow me. Shout out to all my barbers, by the way. Only the good ones, though. You hear me? So, you barbers push people on his back. I ain't talking to you, but the ones who are good, I'm talking to you. All of that suffering made you want to get on your grind. Am I telling the truth? So heartache, I think we all can agree for the most part, has been best for all of us if you pass the test the right way. So if you're like most of us, as a person, we often will misdiagnose our own problems. And so what happens, we'll often confuse the fruit with the root problems. And so the heartache is what leads you to figure out what is the root of all this. Let me stop misdiagnosing this. Let me stop using the wrong medication. Let me stop going to the wrong things and figure out what is really going on with me. How has this rejection and this abuse, in some cases the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, the isolation, how has all this really affected me? And what are my root problems? And when we misdiagnose, which is what people are really good at, this is what leads to being judgmental. This is what leads to a lost identity, not knowing who you are. You would be surprised at how many people really don't know who they are. Don't know their history. Don't understand their culture. Don't know that you really are more than what you've been told you've been. If all your family's ever told you is that you're nobody, your dad was nobody, you ain't nobody, if you're somebody who was rejected by your own parents or boyfriend, girlfriend, if all you've had spoken over your life is death, then that's what's going to come out if you're not careful. So all of that death through the abuse and neglect and abandonment, you were wise enough to say, no, let me get some answers from the Most High. Let me start reading books. Let me invest in my library. Let me go take care of myself. Let me learn nutrition. Let me figure out how to exercise properly. Let me take care of my skincare. You didn't do all that before this. But all of that rejection says, you know what? I'm going to figure out who I really am. I am somebody. I'm not going to listen to what they're saying about me. I don't want that. Right? And that led you to begin to figure out how to take care of your skin, how to take care of your teeth. Practical speaking now. How to dress. You begin to take that serious. You begin to take classes, in some cases, on etiquettes. There are all type of videos online on how to walk, how to dress, how to talk. All this stuff's been helpful for you. And so it puts out this newfound confidence that you didn't have before. And this is a big part of your growth. So I have to be consistent with this teaching. We talked about the positive of pain. The negative part of this is if you're not careful, the pain can create multiple spiritual problems. Right? And one of the spiritual problems that pain can create is rebellion and moral failure. When you're going through pain, if you're not careful, you will self-medicate through moral failure. Having multiple men, multiple women. I know we're getting personal now. Consistently needing substance to give you a peace of mind, to get your mind right. It leads you to a place of rebellion where you don't trust anybody, you don't want to deal with anybody. And so now in rebellion, you are isolating yourself. I know you're not gonna like this, from the protection that comes from the right people. Not the wrong people, not people who want to abuse and use you, but the right people who are qualified to help you and to become a part of your network. Rebellion, or AKA the wrong attitude, got a problem with people, standoffish. We got to be careful. Chosen ones, I'm talking to you, don't get mad at me now. We're getting a little personal now. Let me go ahead and loosen up a little bit. I know some of you kind of mad. You've allowed this to make you rebellious. Let me talk to you now. I gave you some love. Let me come and pull you in a little bit, tighten you up a little bit. I know let me line you up real quick. Get your lining on point. Get you decent. You know how to line them when you go to barber. They had the white little chalk marks. You need some chalk marks. Let me help you out. Let me line you up real quick the right way. You've allowed your pain to make you rebellious. Oh, I've been there. That's what I'm talking. I didn't come on. I was over on 290 going crazy. Come on, let's be honest. So the pain made me rebellious for a period. For a season of my life. Not now, but for a season of my life. Rebellious. Know everything. I don't want you to talk to me. Get out my face. Keep it moving. That was me. I don't want to talk to you. And that rebellion and moral failure, it only made me increase the pain in my life. So I know. So I call myself your big brother for a reason. I've been through all this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. So the moral failure, the rebellion, that don't work, my boy. That don't work, sis. I can talk for you. I'd have been down that path. Don't go down that path, because all that's going to do is create more problems for you. So we don't want to allow our pain to make us worse. Now we're hard-headed. I don't listen to nobody. I'm not teachable. I hate correction. If you want to grow, you have to have correction. Before the Most High, mark my word, give you your money, your bag, your wealth, he gives you wisdom first. So here's the message. Before there is a breakthrough, there has to be a desire and increase in wisdom. When I first got my mind right some years ago, one of the first things that came to me so naturally, it's amazing. Right away, I had this, because I think about my teenage years, I didn't read. I didn't reflect, I didn't do any of that. But once I had my awakening, I began to wake up and read the Bible. I then had a desire to read, not just the Bible, but books. I took classes in psychology, sociology. This was at 20. So when I began to wake up, I had this new desire to learn and to get my mind right, because my mind was so messed up at that time. And so this is a sign you're on the right path. This is a sign you're finding your identity. When you have a craving for knowledge, when you're searching for the right, in other words, get to a place where I need answers. Okay, I need answers. What I'm doing is not working. I was asking questions all the time. I had mentors, I had counselors, I went to counseling and everything. Okay, so you're not gonna deal with heartache just from a YouTube video. No offense to me, but some of you may need to go to counseling. Okay, I know I'm getting personal now, but hey, I went through it. Come on, it helped me out. I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you. Life is real. So you got to really get aggressive about healing this heart and what this really is. And so I began to get counseling. I began to read, reflect for hours. I would sometimes sit down and read for 3-4 hours at a time, writing down notes, reflecting, meditating, fasting. These are all signs, chosen one, that you are really having an awakening and you're now unlocking your identity, which leads to your destiny. You see, your pain has been like being in this spiritual prison. And in that spiritual prison, it begins to break your heart. And if you're not careful, that broken heart can lead to a deep-rooted pride. There are some people that their pride is keeping them from being the best they can be. And so we got to understand that, and that's why I did the video about the humiliation ritual. Because when we go through that process of being humbled, that positions you to become wealthy. That positions you to be blessed. That positions you to receive revelation, knowledge, finding the right books, finding the right people, having the right doors open to you. That process takes out the pride and replaces it with humility, and in comes the love, in comes wisdom. Because here's a sign right here. Here's what I know. Number one sign to me that you are chosen, and one of the big ones is that you manifest love. Let's park right here for a second. You cannot fake love. Love is a sign that you truly are close to the Most High God. You can fake righteousness by being judgmental and biased, living by a list of rules, not really having any spiritual power. You can fake all that. But what you can't fake is having genuine love towards God and other people, showing compassion. That can't be faked. And so when you've been through heartbreak, this has a way of allowing the Most High to pour love into your heart, and that's what you will pour out into other people. And people will receive that, and that's when your success comes. Let me talk to you. I'm your big brother. That's where your blessings come. That's when your breakthrough comes, because you now are connected to God, and now you could be a channel of wisdom, a channel of resources and spiritual wealth. He can trust you with money now because he know you do the right thing with it. See, some people God won't trust with money because you won't do the right thing with it. But when this is right, your spirit, now he can trust you with resources. He can give you a bag now because you know you're not going to go do the wrong thing with it. He not going to give you a bag and you're going to take it to the strip club. I mean, I'm sorry. I know some of y'all don't like it. I'm just being real with you. But he can give you the money now because he knows you know how to do the right thing with it. Right? He knows you can use it for good. So love is something that you cannot fake. And to me, that's a true sign that you have found your identity, because God is love. And so when you can manifest that, that's how I know, you know what? You definitely are a chosen one. The 15 signs I gave were very helpful and gave much insight and deeper layers. Go watch that video for context. But to me, this is a big one. When you show love, that proves you're really on the Most High side. And you truly are chosen out of a dark world. So as I, wrap this video up, I hope that you allow, let me just talk to you for a second now. You allow your heartbreak to help you understand who you are, to find your identity, to grow, to prosper, to be a light in this dark world, to really find your purpose, to have that breakthrough moment, to have victory over your enemies. Heartbreak truly is the key to your identity. This is your big brother, King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.